the metaverse has created some interesting opportunities for investors, especially if we're talking ownership. Now, there are three major ways to get ownership in the metaverse, and I'm not referring to having different items and play to earn games. Now, that is a form of ownership. I'm referring to these three things. Number one, becoming a digital landowner, as in buying digital real estate. Number two, creating or launching a business in the metaverse. And number three would be buying into, startup projects through their NFTs where they offer ownership and pay back some of the profits. Now, I'm going to share with you two different NFT projects in two different industries that give investors the ability to have ownership in their business in the metaverse through NFTs. However, I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy sharing with you information that will hopefully help you cut the learning curve as you do your due diligence. But now that we got that out the way, let's jump into it. Welcome back to the channel, Millionaires. I'm Mike the Investor. Now, before we dive into the two different projects, let's kind of talk about the opportunity at hand, right? When you think about the metaverse, a lot of people look at it as in playing games or playing in the metaverse. I want you guys to actually look past that. Put your business hat on for me for a second. So if you think about the digital world, we have landowners and we have business owners, right? Now, landowners are the people who own the land and either rent it out to businesses, or those landowners launch their own business on their land. And then, of course, you just have business owners who create or launch businesses on that land that's available. Now, that same opportunity has presented itself in the metaverse. And I want you to think about something. Less people know and understand NFTs than they do cryptocurrency, and even less understand the metaverse. And so I want you to really educate yourself on this opportunity. The metaverse gives us the ability to make a ton of wealth, not just for us, but for our family, but also because it is at its infancy, we can also lose a lot of money as well if we are not careful. Now, one thing I briefly want to mention, if you look at the digital real estate market, it is pretty much getting out of reach for the average investor, which is why I want to focus on becoming part owner in different businesses, which is a more inexpensive way. So just to give you a couple quick stats, the digital real estate market reached over 500 million last year and is expected to double this year. So that tells us two things. Number one, of course, the value is increasing, but number two, the average buy-in is going to increase as well, pricing out more and more investors. If we go back just to January this year, the average price for the cheapest amount of digital land was about $13,000. And with everything going on in the world today, we know the average investor doesn't really have $1,000 for an emergency fund. And so with that being said, this is a great way to, find ownership in the metaverse through NFTs. And so we're going to be talking about two different projects. One of these projects I own and I shared with you about a month ago. And this project is in the gambling industry, also kind of in the play to earn industry. And then the second project we're going to talk about is in the art industry, which we understand is a $1 trillion industry within itself, coming into the NFT industry. So the first project is San Vegas Casino Club, and the second project is MetaMuse NFT Gallery. Now, San Vegas, as I mentioned, I do own. MetaMuse, I do have my eye on this project. However, the project isn't actually live yet as far as NFTs to actually mint them. So just sharing with you a couple different projects in two different industries, because the idea of what you want to do, if this idea resonates with you, you want to find NFT projects in the industries that you understand that resonate with you, and then find projects that offer, ownership that will pay back profits to those holders of the NFTs. And that's how you want to go about navigating through this space. So let's briefly touch on San Vegas Casino Club. And I'm also going to show you my collection of this NFT project as well. So briefly touching on San Vegas Casino Club, they are building casinos in Sandbox as well as the Centraland. They also have YouTube videos of the live footage that they're building, which is super dope. And as you can see, they have a 2-set collection, the Genesis collection called Original Gamblers of 10,000, and they are paid 50% of the profits each month. And then you have the Golden Gambler collection, which is the second collection, which is more of the high end. They get 30% of the profits, and there are only 1,111 gamblers that is splitting that 30% profit. Now, there are more features than becoming, a casino owner. If we briefly move down here, you can see here are some of the other features that comes with the utility of this NFT besides whatever else they implement down the road. Here is the roadmap here for the San Vegas Casino Club. Now definitely check out the previous video I did about a month ago that really breaks down San Vegas Casino Club. And as we move down, of course, the team is doxed, which is definitely something a lot of investors do like to see. Not a requirement, but with everything going on, it definitely gives you that peace of mind with projects. Now, here's my personal profile on OpenSea. I have one golden gambler, and I also have 2 original gamblers. So before moving to the next project, let me show you just some brief potential profit calculations. Now, none of this is guaranteed. However, what we can do is get an estimate based off of if the casino is able to do this amount in profit a month. This is what we have based off of the NFTs that we hold. Now here's the Web 2 online casino profit. How many original gamblers do I have? I own 2. And if I move down, how many golden gamblers do I own out of the 0 to 77 mint or 302 to 1,111? And the reason why is because some of these do have additional profit, as an additional 10% and then additional 5%. I just have an additional regular one. As you can see, if I go back to the profile, here's my golden gambler, number 68. So if I go back, you can see 0 to 77. So I'm gonna just briefly put 1 in. And the profit of the casino is $1 million for the month. 50% of that is paid to the holders. So you can see that $500K will go to the holders. And you can see I am currently looking at about $300, passively in residual income for the month, just off of $1 million far as the casino making in profit. Now, again, none of this is financial advice. None of this is guaranteed. However, I'm just sharing with you what is possible. And let's just say they did 5 million, because we've already seen what the Central Games have done. 5 million, 6 million in a month with one casino. You can see 5 million will pay me about $1,500 a month on these 3 different NFTs, which is pretty cool. So with that being said, I just wanted to briefly share with you San Vegas Casino Club, which is a project I personally own that I'm holding and growing with the project as they let out more developments. Now, before we dive into the second project, MetaMuse NFT Gallery, one thing you're going to notice about these 2 projects, they are very similar. They use the same sandbox launchpad for the website, so it's going to look very similar. The team also operates in very similar ways, and let me explain. As I mentioned, they both have a very similar website using the Sandbox Launchpad. Secondly, both teams are doxed. Thirdly, they both give you profit and ownership into their business for holding the NFTs. And then fourthly, they both have a YouTube channel which gives updates on the project. And right there, that shows me not only legitimacy, but it also shows that they're really bought into the project and they want it to be successful, which is something you definitely want to see for projects. But let's briefly look at the website. Here is the MetaMuse NFT Gallery. Now, as I mentioned, this project isn't live yet. The minting is going to be soon. I have no idea when the date is. I have dabbled a little bit in their Discord where they do have some different profit calculations, but here you can see they kind of have the same statement because they have that same concept, as in they're going to give ownership to their holders. Now you're going to get a lifetime of passive income from our NFT gallery and exchange directly in the metaverse. Now they're going to be selling different 𝗖𝗢𝗬𝗣𝗧𝗢, which is their NFT collection, but they're also going to be buying and holding different NFTs in the space in their NFT gallery, which I think is pretty cool. Now, if you briefly just go to their Twitter page, here are some of the different artwork that you can see, which I do think is pretty cool. Of course, NFTs is an acquired taste depending on what's your style, but I do like the concept that they're going after. Now, as you can see, the 𝗖𝗢𝗚 NFT collection will fund the creation of a brick and mortar NFT gallery and exchange in the sandbox and Decentraland metaverses. Each MetaMuse 𝗖𝗢𝗚 NFT holder will receive share of profits generated in their gallery. Now, as we move on down, here are some of the features. Of course, you have the owner of the gallery and marketplace, which is pretty cool. Definitely, if you're one of those people that is into art, you have the buying and holding other NFT collections, which they can sell and give that profit back to some of the holders, which they talk about. And then they have a community governed voting aspect where one NFT equals about 1 vote. Here's their YouTube channel, which I'm gonna briefly show you that here in a second. Here are some of the other features of this project as far as utility on how they will add, benefit to the holders. Now, as we move down, here's the roadmap here of this project. I believe it is a 10,000 collection project. Now, one thing I do want to mention, with it being a 10,000 collection, it will take a strong community to sell that out. So we will have to see how that happens. But here we have the team, Josh and Madison, and then you have just Michael. Now, Josh is doxed, and speaking of being doxed here, here's a screenshot. You can see here's the long-term utility of their NFT collection to briefly kind of give us a brief overview on how this thing adds value. So you got 70% of profits distributed to the NFT holder because you are a owner in the gallery and exchange. Then you have a 1.8% tax fee on NFT purchases, where the normal big marketplaces charges anywhere from 2 to 2.5%. So they're really banking on taking market share because of that. You have the buy and hold NFTs. There's going to be a $1 to $2 admission fee or long-term memberships, monetized portals to other locations in the metaverse, paid advertisements, free admission to the gallery, and then of course they have the governance feature, 1 NFT equals 1 vote. Now, just to briefly show you a couple profit calculations, none of this is guaranteed, but this is what I found in their Discord. They're going to be building a gallery in Sandbox and Decentraland, and if you hold 1 NFT, 70% of the profits goes back to those NFT holders. And so 500,000, 70% of that comes out to 350K, which will be about $35, per month per NFT. So not life-changing money, but as things continue to grow and as the metaverse develops, this could be pretty big. Now, if you look here, this is going to be a higher profit calculation at 2.5 million, and you can see that's about $175 per NFT. And also, let's just say they're doing that in Sandbox and Decentraland. Now you're actually earning a little bit more. Now, this would be extremely optimistic here. $10 million in a month. That will pay you about $700 per NFT just for holding it. Now, again, none of this is financial advice. I just wanted to share some information with you so that way it can hopefully cut your learning curve as you're doing your own due diligence. Now, if you gain some value from this video, do me a favor and definitely smash the like button. It really helps out the channel, and let me know down in the comment section what other NFT and metaverse videos you would like to see. But I will see you on the next one.